sometimes this equipment choose the day they want to annoy you. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, first of all, thank you, Dolakbo, for giving me the opportunity to speak to your people. First and foremost, I'm a Nigerian, 47 years of age, married with 4 kids. I own a company, a small group of companies that is invested in really in security and maritime sector primarily, and other subsidiaries with it. I have a media and communications outfit. I have 2 NGOs that support women and girls. I also have one that has to do with youth empowerment. And I also am out there empowering youth. I'm a simple young man. My plan is just to ensure that I can help people become better, because you don't win alone. Mm. Okay, well, thanks, Dolakbo. I think what happened, the wake-up call started when my children started growing up. Then I had 3 children, Adora, Atara, and Sarah. I have 3 children. I mean, Adora, Jamon, and Atara. And their school fees, anytime they bring in their school fees, sometimes I won't have the money immediately to pay. And then it became a challenge for me. So when you have issues like that, then it becomes a very big problem. Then maybe you don't have the money. So I now started feeling, unworthy to be able to do that. But I knew that I could do more. I could be more. Now, even if they were to promote me in where I was working at that point in time in 4 or 5 years, I may not end up to 1 million naira at that time, per month. Now, and then school fees, was close to 800,000 a month at the secondary level. So if I had 2 kids in secondary level, then I would be having an average of 1.6 million to pay. And 1.6 million with what I was earning, I would have to save money for 3 to 4 months without eating. Now, so it didn't work. So the idea I had was, okay, let me start a company. Now, when I started the company by, expecting that maybe I needed an office to start the company. So I went to co-locate with a friend of mine who was billing me 80,000 naira a month. So I thought it was necessary because I needed to give a complimentary card. I had created a complimentary card with the address, but I did not know that that was not exactly a very wise decision. Now, why not very wise? Because I was paying 80,000 naira a month. I thought I needed a secretary. I was paying her 40,000 naira a month. So already that was going on there. I now had interest of 15,000 naira a month in that package. And the challenge was there. So while all this were going on, I was not making any single income. I thought, okay, that I could start my business like that. Unfortunately, my cost was like 235,000 naira a month. Meanwhile, my income was zero. So I found out that I was bleeding and I was not making money. So what did I do? I now had to cut my excesses. I stopped using my money from I stopped, doing that from the office, and I went to my house. So I turned my bedroom to my office, and there I was there rotating from there. So when I did that, I cut the part of the house, cut the part of the office, cut the part of all those things. So I reduced my cost to 70,000 naira a month. Now, why 70,000 naira? I would give my wife 50,000 naira, then 20,000 naira was my overhead cost. So that means 70,000 naira. That was it. So everything above 70,000 naira was like investment money for me. Now, when I had that investment mindset, the next thing I did was to ensure that I put a target to myself. That if you are going to move in any part of your life, the first and most important thing that must happen is you put a target. A target will always, yes, a target will always guarantee your direction. Without a target, you are not going anywhere. So I put a target before me, 100 million naira. That was my target. At that point in time, my total package in a year was 3.6 million. I have never, written 10 million with my hand before, but now I was putting a target of 100 million naira. Now, since my target was 100 million naira, I know that the profit there can take care of my house, take care of anything that I wanted to do. So where would I find this kind of money? So I began to ask myself, are there people that are succeeding in the industry that I was interested in, which was security, to make money? So I saw, yes, there was Control Risk Group and there was G4S. So I decided that I was going to read about them. So I began to read a bit about them. And then I was providing services for an oil company, I will not forget. So they were paying me as a company 52,000 naira, but paying the other security company close to 300,000 naira. So I was interested in what were they doing that I was not doing. So that led me into what I call competitive intelligence. Find out what your mates are doing, your colleagues are doing that are making money that you are not doing. So I began to read about them, and I found out that they were providing maritime security operations. And I said, okay, no problem. So that is what I would do. I was providing the maritime security services, and while I was providing the maritime services for them, what I now found out that it was giving me better mileage. Now, how did I enter that industry? I didn't know. So I now went to LinkedIn. LinkedIn now showed me that there was a group called Maritime Security. And I went to the Maritime Security platform on LinkedIn. Then there was Combating Piracy group. There were 500 people in that group. So I joined in. Now, these people were talking my language. These people were working in the area that I was interested in. So entering there, I began to associate myself with them. When they began to talk about the Gulf of Aden, I didn't know what they were talking about. They were talking about Somalia. I didn't understand. Then they began to talk about the Gulf of Guinea. Now, I did not know that Gulf of Guinea was like this. So they now said, when they ask me questions on Port Harcourt, I will answer that Port Harcourt is like this, Port Harcourt is like that. When they talk about Abuja, I will reply, Abuja is like this. When they ask about Lagos, I will reply like this. So whenever they ask about something I knew, I would put my mouth in it. And that is always the first mistake a lot of people make. Make sure you speak in anything that you know, because most of the time our silence is the main thing that is killing us. When you keep silent, nobody can identify with you. But when I was talking, what I knew was that people began to relate with me. People began to ask me things, and the thing began to make a lot of sense for me. So I was now excited. Now, these 500 new friends I had made, I now started seeing that I was relating with people from different parts of the world, different ideas. So a lot of them started coming to me in that industry. Then one day someone called me and said, King, can you provide security from Djibouti to Mombasa? Me, I said yes. Meanwhile, I didn't know where Djibouti was. I didn't know where Mombasa was. So I now tell anybody, if they give you a deal, say yes first, then find out how to do it. I read it from Richard Branson. So I now agree. Now, how do I do this work now? In that same group, I found out that there was a guy from Kenya. I called the guy, bro, how far? Can you provide this service? He said yes. He will charge them $150,000. I said, okay, no problem. Just broker me my 10% commission. He said, no shaking. Now, in 24 hours, I was in traffic. You know how that Lagos traffic can be. I was in that traffic, and I received a text on my phone, Nokia 3310. King, I have received the sum of $150,000. Please send me your account so that I can pay you your 10%. It was at that time I picked up my phone and I asked the man, I checked, because I'd always been thinking that dollars was the same thing as Naira, Yes. So by the time I pressed $150,000 times 150 Naira per dollar, I now found out that the phone told me error. It couldn't calculate it. Yes. That phone changed everything about the way I thought, because the phone could not calculate that kind of money. So within 24 hours, 22.5 million had gone over my head. I said, whatever is in this business, we die here. So I now have to start concentrating. Then I began to make mistakes in my negotiations with people. Then, okay, you provide services, they tell you a vessel is $7,000. You don't negotiate. You don't know that $1 is 150 Naira. So when a man tells you 7,000 and you're telling him 6,000, what you have said is that you're dashing him extra $30,000 for 1 month. I did not understand. Now, if the man tells you 7,000, you don't negotiate to 5,000, $2,000, that's $60,000 has gone. So until I began to understand that, my mindset began to go up to that kind of money. Small money became unattractive. So I was now looking for businesses that were in this line. Then when I started telling my clients, this is what I did, this is what I do, they now said, okay, can you provide this service? And I said, yes, I started providing the service. So within 3 months, I got maybe like a job order to provide security offshore. When I gave my clients the bill, an invoice, one sheet of paper invoice, by the time they said they'll pay me was 1 month after the job is done. That means in 2 months' time. I found out that I was owing the owner of the boat 32 million times 2, which is now 64 million. I was owing the Navy, who I was supporting, almost 9 million. The people that supply me food, I was owing them at this time 5 million. So I was scared for my life. But when the first alert hit my phone, everything changed. So I knew that it's not a function of my age. It's not a function of my intelligence. It's a function of positioning. I had positioned myself well. I had known what was happening in the market. I knew the players in the market, and I went for them. I was following the money, following the money. My age had not changed. Nothing around me had changed, but my mind had changed. So I began to bring in a team of people around me, people, so let's work together. I found out that every time my mindset has to move to a new level to be able to accommodate the next level of change. Because there's a difference between 10 million and 100 million. There's a difference between 100 million and 500 million. There's a difference between 500 million and 1 billion. Very different. Your mindset must always be changed to this level. So I have to daily update myself to that level. So that's what the foundation did. And so each time I was able to take care of my bills and learn more. Interesting to note, you say, people run away from things they don't know. A lot of times, people run away from things they don't know. The problem is, the thing is that it's a capital intensive business, but they did not tell you to bring capital. Nobody told you to bring capital. It's you that is running away because you think you have to bring the capital. I didn't do that. When I told them I could do the job, I bidded for the job. They gave me the job. When they gave me the job, I went to look for somebody who had who had the vessel. And I don't worry. This is why 5G, you know.
Okay, so as I said, nobody ever told you that you needed capital. People just assume that you need capital. The most important thing is the idea of the business. Then, when you have the idea of the business, break it down. There are parts of the business you can do without capital. There are parts. Now, so those parts, concentrate on it. I call it the law of compartmentalization. Compartmentalization will require you, okay, the parts, break it into different segments. If you have to meet with people, meet with them first. They have not asked you for capital. When is the project? Find out when the project, find out what they need, find out what you need to do. What relationships do you need to put in place before then? It is at this point in time you will find out whether you need capital or you don't need capital. So what did I do? Now, in my own industry, I found out that anytime they needed the service, they will tell you when the service is supposed to. Then you now bring out the asset. Now, for me, I learned that you will sign a BIMCO. It does in the maritime industry. A BIMCO will tell you this is the spec you want, this is how much they will pay for it, and they'll tell you when they'll pay. So, based on what they have told you can use it to negotiate with your contractor, your subcontractor. So, based on that, I went to a subcontractor and I told the subcontractor, I will pay you 1 month after the job is done, and then you pay your invoice. You give me your invoice after the job is done, not before, because my client is telling me they will not attend to me until after that. So the same thing my clients tell me is what I will tell you. So when my clients tell me that it is 1 month after, so will I do the 1 month after with you. It's basically, and I also did that. Okay, for me, there are two ways of making multiple streams of income. Pardon me, lighting has gone out, so alternative power will soon come back on. So the first and most important thing is that you can think of the strategy. Number one is that you can do the inside out approach, or you can do the outside in approach. When you do the inside out approach, is that you look for where your expenses are going. Now, so wherever your expenses are going, that becomes an opportunity to create a business. Now, since I was providing maritime security, one of the expenses that I had was where I buy food for my staff. And guess what? Every time I have to, put food on a vessel, it will take me maybe 2 point something million. So why would I do that? I'll pay somebody when I have multiple vessels. So I created a department that metamorphosed into a company to provide food for the vessels. And when they do that, they can now look for other people to supply food for. So now the same law that I use for myself is to also give them a target. So they have to also create that. Now, I also know that the people we work for need secure transportation to the airport. So from the field. So once they land, I had brought in a security company, which is my own, to escort them to the airport. So you pay me for that journey, you pay me for the food, things like that. So I started creating subsidiaries. Now I found out that every time that I was going to do a changeover of staff, I needed to have a hotel that I pay money. So when I did my P&L on how much goes to the hotel, it wasn't a very nice idea. So what I did was to now create a subsidiary that manages my guest houses for me. So when the people come, I created that. And so instead of the money going out, the money is coming in. So that is the inside out approach. The outside in approach, like, so the formula for that one is basically wherever your expenses go to, create a business with it. Straight. Create a business with it. Don't waste time. Because that place that is going to is an expense. And every successful man knows that you need assets. So create that asset And if it's where you spend money, that means other people are spending money there. So you create a platform for it. Yes. So that becomes it. Now, number two, there are people that are probably employees here who are not owners of business. And you now look at it. Now, take for example, you get to work by 7 o'clock, you leave by 5 o'clock. Now, let's do it like this. Before you leave your house, you'll probably wake up from your house by maybe 5:30. 5:30. You go and have your bath, go and get dressed, get to your car. So what time did you start work exactly? You started work by 5 a.m. Even if you didn't get to the office by 5 a.m., you started work by 5 a.m. You entered, you drove. Your mind had been on the walk since 5 a.m. You closed by 5 p.m. already. Now that 5 p.m., trust me, you will, shutting down, getting yourself, going home. You'll probably get home around 9 o'clock. When you get home around 9 o'clock, you need to prepare for the next day, maybe 10, 11 before you go to bed. Ensure that everything. So from 5 a.m. that day to 11 p.m. That day, that is actually where you work. So I tell people that most people use 71% of their time working for somebody else. Now, so the challenge there is, okay, what do you do? Now, what I always advise people is that, profit is always better than wages. Yeah? Profit is always better than wages. You must do everything to create profit for yourself. Always do that. Even if you can't do a lot of, maybe go and start a business on the side, what about just network marketing? Something to add extra portfolio to you. The objective is money. The objective is not maybe you want to sell it. The objective, the result is money. Because if you have more money, you have less worries. COVID-19 has come. And you're looking at yourself, what do you do now that COVID-19 has come? You should have put in place digital products. If you can trade, like now we are talking on air. Now, as we are talking, this content can be archived and put in a product and sold. So whatever you can do, if it's to make sure, if it's to polish something, if it's to do this, it's possible. Whatever knowledge you have, you can always put it in a list and give it to people and then get their email address. So it's called a list. You build a list, and once that list happens, you can always sell to them, even if you do it for free. Yes, like a newsletter. Like someone like me, I make sure I'm on Instagram. In the next 30 minutes, I'm supposed to be on a radio show. Every day I do that. I want to keep that mind there because the result, the response for this kind of season of COVID-19 or recession is massive action. Keep that action before them every single time. Keep the action before them every single time. Because the most important thing is that you must follow the 5 steps towards making profit. The first one is awareness. Let your product or your service be before them every single time. Keep it. People do not remember the first time, the second time, the third time. So you must do it every single time, every single time. Even in the Bible, it says, this book of the law shall not depart out of your sight. Thou shalt meditate upon it day and night. The more you remind your friend in the morning, in the evening, once they remember, they will remember you also with their money. But if they don't remember you, they can give your money to somebody else. And the danger about this is that once you start it, please don't stop. Because you whet their appetite, and when they need you, you are no more there, they move to somebody else. So people always say that they've started a business and the business went down. You did not stay to the end. My cup runneth over means you have to fill the cup first before it runs over. So there is a process. So you must fill it up before it runs over. So if you are waiting for it to overflow, you must first fill it up. If the cup is not filled, it will never run over. So awareness is the first stage. After awareness, you now go to acceptance. Acceptance is when people know you for what you do. They know your philosophy. They know your ideology. They respect what you say because you are consistent in what you do. That has to do with acceptance. And once you get into acceptance, it becomes something that is very, very unique. Acceptance helps you that people have accepted that this is what you stand for and this is what they are likely to gain, relating with you. Now, that's number 2. So number 3 step is marketing. Marketing is when you tell them your value. Your value is 1 million. Your value is 10 million. Your value is 50 million. Your value is this. People know they are not paying you, but they have an idea what your value is. So sometimes when you go in front of an audience, go in front of the people, you are always at different levels with them. There are people that are awareness level. There are people that are acceptance level. There are people that are marketing level. So don't always think that everybody will buy your business on the first day. You must keep doing it. Even Jesus said, do this in remembrance of me so that you don't forget him. Don't forget him. You must remember what he came to do for you. So acceptance, awareness, acceptance, marketing, then sale. Sale is when you exchange money. Your business has not been closed out until money has been exchanged. So nobody does business because he feels like it's a charity. Any business there must be an exchange of money. A lot of people are running business as if it's a what they call is a charity. No problem about that. But if you want to succeed, you need money. Money gives you options. Money gives you opportunity to talk. Money gives you opportunity to choose the life you want to live. Money gives you the opportunity to relate with different kinds of people. Money gives you every single thing like that. So you also need to wake up and agree to yourself that this is your value and this is how much. Because until people are sure what your value is, they will never pay you anything. And you see, if you have friends and you have family that don't want to do business, listen to me, guys. If you are not ready to pay, cut them off. Cut them off. There's no emotion in business. There's no emotion in success. Success is not emotional. You need to focus on getting it. So once you have the awareness, then you go to the acceptance to marketing to sales. Then the last level is referral. Referral becomes critical because anytime somebody does something, they will always tell people about it. So your product you must have your after sales belief, your after sales responsibility. And I tell people, you see, poor people make money from the front, rich people make money from the back. And that is when you put a system in place in your business. A system is such a way that even when you are sleeping, people are paying you for your service. Never try as much as possible to metamorphose your business from just a buying and selling to a continue to use business. Because if they don't use you, then they are stuck. That's how you make money. Yeah. So it must be you must plan the subscriber base. And how do you do that? Feed their hunger. Keep feeding their hunger. Money follows attention. Wherever the attention is, that's where money goes to. You can't be silent and expect to make money. Money always follows attention. So you must ensure you get the attention. You must be ensured that you are there. You must be ensured that your name is in front of them as much as possible. You must keep it before you. This book shall not depart from their faces. Your product must not depart from their face. They must meditate upon it day and night. So you must have a way to capture their mind. You must have a way to put that service, that system, before them every time, because it is at the time they want to take a decision, you should be there. If you are not there, you have lost the opportunity. Follow the money. Follow the money. You see, so you have to put it before them and let them know money follows attention. So when you get the attention, keep the attention. When you're keeping the attention, keep the attention in their area of interest, their area of concern. What are they concerned about? What are they interested about? Stop talking about COVID. Talk about the solution. The more you talk about the solution, the more people want to listen to you. The more you have a response. Now, what is happening in the world now? 7 billion people. Everybody now, instead of you having COVID matter, that people are buying face masks. Face mask. Now, what has happened? People dealing with face masks are making money. Yes. Netflix took advantage of this time, and they're showing you a lot of films using AI. They're making money. Yeah? Zoom is making money. So you need to, yes, on a Zoom call, yes. And Zoom has moved to 300 million users a day. Think about it. And that Zoom that you're using to stream, behind it is communication. Whether it's MTN, this thing, AT&T, whatever, Horizon Offshore, it's behind, it's hanging on it. So did you hear the communication guys quarreling? They didn't quarrel. Yes. So now that now tells you that if your business is only limited to land, you're a poor man. You must be able to move your business not only on land, to air, to the airspace. And make money in the air. You must make it. You must be able to advertise. You must be able to sell. You must be able to train. You must be able to support people, digitally. Doctors now, you don't need to go to a hospital. You can do video consulting now. They have to quickly think. So you start thinking, how do you move? How do you provide service? How are you able to support people, and get results, and then they pay you? You're good to go. The first thing I'll tell him is there are three most important things. Number one is build your mind, because because the resistance out there is not game, it's not joke. Business is war. Treat it as such. If you see a military man having confidence every day because he does daily exercises in the morning and in the night, so you need to exercise your mind. Go online and then spend at least 1 hour a day studying yourself. When I told somebody that 1 hour, he said that's too much. I said, calm down. Breakfast, how long do you eat breakfast? 20 minutes. Lunch, 20 minutes. Dinner, 20 minutes. How come you didn't eat all the food at once? So if you can feed your because when your body takes the food, it digests it. And then you eat lunch, it will digest. Then dinner also, it will digest. So what do? Take also a mental breakfast in the morning, then go for mental lunch, then go for mental dinner. So as this one is going down, new information is entering there, new information. If you do that in 1 month, you will find out that, look, you have found your path. Now you have to build on your path. I cannot stop learning. I cannot stop reading, because every day I go to war. Every day I go to war. Yeah. In the next few minutes, I have to go on radio. When I finish that, I'm going to another call. Then I go to another call. So I don't have time for things to distract me. I focus on my target. Remember, it is target that determines your direction, and your direction determines your relationships. You don't go for a relationship it was not in line with your target. Follow your target and follow the money. Once you do that, you are good to go. Okay. For me, one of the things I would tell everybody is that it's important at this point in time you learn to sell. Anything, learn to sell. Anything. You must understand the principle of selling. And you must look at, okay, where is the money going to? Now, once you are able to learn to sell, you can sell anything and identify that. Now, for a quick update, the future is AI compliant. So the future is going AI. If whatever you are going into or in relationship, you must find out, does it have an AI compliance or AI relationship? If it is not compliant with AI, your business will not last long. AI will take it over. So you must understand, where is my business going? Now, let me use one interesting one. People that are in the stock exchange, yes, they will all be replaced by bots. All will be replaced by bots. Yeah. Now, so people in the farming industry, they will be replaced by robots. People in different sectors. So if you want to say, okay, today, King, what areas can I just quickly play there and start? I will tell you, go into the mask making, because people, for at least 1 year minimum, people must buy mask. And your mask, for if Gucci, Louis Vuitton can make mask, they have seen a market. Medical supplies, cleaning services. People want their houses clean, and then they want some very hard Clorox, that kind brand, something that will kill things. Groceries, you know. Now you have drive-in movies that are taking over. You have shop delivery services. You have board games. You have fitness equipments are being supplied at home now. You can do video conferencing, online training. You have online gambling service, even entry, toilet soap, sanitizers, telecommunication system. You know, those are businesses that are working now. But also, let's look far ahead. Let's look at the future. Where is it going to? You have, you know, robotic people that are into robotic manufacturing and maintenance. You have raw material management. You have big data and AI specialists. Even if you have to take a course in AI and understand, begin to understand now, otherwise, because the only people that will be able, people that can program the AI and people that can, you know, understand how to deal with the report of the AI. Another interesting one is the artificial body manufacturers, body parts. Because now people will be saying, look, I have bone issue. Now they'll be starting having different equipment that can put inside your hand and make it. You have e-sport. E-sport is taking over. You know, you have virtual worlds designers, all these VR things. Now, people will be living in that world the more. Cyber security and private data brokerage. You have entertainment will go to a very, very big high. They are going there. You have real estate will not go down. Real estate will increase. More people. You have the people that into biochemistry and technical engineers, because people are going to be looking for alternative energy for batteries, for car, for smartphones. So that industry will really boom. You have private services for the rich will not reduce, it will increase. Then elderly care and end of life management are places that are people. There's small jobs that they can also, all those little things are there for you to look at. And that's what I'll say for now. So I will encourage them to listen through again, and I'll be ready to come back so we can have a robust meeting that will help us. Dalakba, I'm your boy. I'm your boy. Okay. You will not sleep. Mm. Thank you. Thank you.